Hello, friends. Have you ever wondered why some people see every challenge as an opportunity while others get discouraged by the slightest failure? Why do some people keep growing continuously while others get stuck in the same place? The answer lies in our mindset. Carol S. Dweck's remarkable book explains that the way we think is the biggest reason for our success or failure. This isn't just a motivational book. It's a guide based on scientific research that teaches us how the direction of our thinking determines the direction of our lives. Our society often teaches us that talent and intelligence are the keys to success. But is it really that simple? If so, every talented person would be successful. But reality tells a different story. This book explains that it's not just talent or intelligence, but our mindset that determines how far we can go in life. Dweck defines two types of mindsets: fixed mindset and growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are determined at birth and cannot be changed. They fear failure, avoid challenges, and shy away from criticism. On the other hand, people with a growth mindset believe their abilities can continuously develop through hard work and the right strategy. They see challenges as opportunities, learn from failures, and strive to improve every day. Think about it. If Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, or Michael Jordan had believed they were born with limited abilities, could they have become great in their fields? No. They all adopted a growth mindset and treated every failure as a new lesson. In this video, we'll share the most important lessons from this book so you too can develop a growth mindset. We'll learn how changing your mindset can help you achieve remarkable success in life. If you want to grow in your career, studies, business, or personal life, watch this video till the end. Chapter 1. The Mindsets. Have you ever wondered why some people keep moving forward even in difficult circumstances, while others give up at the slightest difficulty? Why do some people keep learning and growing, while others confine themselves within self-made boundaries? This all depends on the structure of our thinking, what we call mindset. Our thinking shapes the direction of our lives. Everything we achieve, learn, and experience is controlled by our mindset. This isn't magic. It's a scientific reality. Through her research, Dweck concluded that human mindsets are primarily of two types: fixed mindset, static thinking, and growth mindset, developing thinking. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities and intelligence are innate and cannot change. They think that if they're not good at something, they can never become good at it. They associate failure with their identity and try to avoid challenges. When they face a difficult problem, they feel it wasn't meant for them and give up. Failure becomes a permanent mark rather than a reason to try. People with a growth mindset believe their abilities can be developed through hard work and the right approach. They know that learning and growth is a process, and failure is part of that process. They see challenges as opportunities and try to learn something from every failure. For them, failure is a lesson, not a permanent label. Now the question arises, is our mindset fixed in childhood? Can it be changed? Our mindset is completely flexible. It develops from our experiences, upbringing, and the teachings we receive. When a child is told you're very smart, they may think smartness is something you either have or don't. But when they're taught you learn this through hard work, they understand that with effort and practice, anyone can improve at anything. An experiment was conducted with two groups of children in a school. The first group was told they were very talented and intelligent. The second group was told they were very hardworking and had the ability to keep learning. When both groups were given a difficult task, the first group quickly gave up, feeling it was beyond their talent. But the second group kept trying because they believed they could learn. This proves, if we consider ourselves limited, we will remain limited. But if we believe we can learn any skill, nothing is impossible for us. Think about your own life. Have you ever felt you weren't good at something and gave it up? Have you ever associated a failure with your identity? If yes, it could be a sign of a fixed mindset. But the good news is, you can change it. Chapter 2. Inside the Mindsets. Have you ever noticed how you feel when someone says you're not good at something? Do you accept it as a challenge and try to improve? Or do you assume you can never be good at it? This is where your mindset determines how you'll move forward. It's not just about two different ways of thinking. It's a mental framework that influences every reaction, every decision, and every effort. When a child hears you're very smart or you're very talented from parents or teachers, it can lay the foundation of a fixed mindset. This sounds nice, but its hidden effect is that the child starts believing success depends only on talent, not on effort. If they later face difficulty and fail, they may feel they weren't as smart as people said. They then begin avoiding challenges, fearing failure will disprove their smartness. On the other hand, if the same child hears you succeeded because you worked hard, a growth mindset develops. Now they understand that talent isn't a fixed thing. It's the result of hard work, patience, and the right attitude. People with a fixed mindset treat failure as a direct blow to their self-esteem. When they face a hard problem, they think they're not capable enough. They keep themselves away from challenges so their abilities aren't questioned. Growth mindset people, in contrast, see every challenge as an opportunity. They know every failure hides a chance to learn, and they strive to continuously improve. Dweck and her team divided students into two groups. The first group was given easy questions and praised for their smartness. The second group was given harder questions and encouraged for their effort and hard work. When both groups faced even tougher questions, the first group panicked and tried to avoid failure. But the second group became more enthusiastic and worked harder to solve the problems. This made it clear, when we tie our success to talent, we fear failure. But when we see it as part of a learning process, we stay ready for every challenge. Mindsets aren't limited to studies and careers. They affect every area: sports, business, relationships, and even our ability to think. If an athlete is taught they're a born champion, one defeat can shatter them completely. But if they're taught they can improve every day through hard work, they'll come back stronger after every loss. Chapter 3. The Truth About Ability and Achievement. Have you ever felt that some people achieve success effortlessly while others can't reach as far despite working day and night? Are some people truly born talented and do others just live in their shadow? This question, as common as it seems, is deeply important, and the answer lies in our mindset. Our abilities and achievements are not the result of innate talent. It depends on how we view our talent and abilities. Our mindset determines how far we can go. Our society has a big misconception that talent is everything. If a child is good at math, people say they're a born genius. If an artist creates a beautiful painting, people assume it's a natural gift. But is that the whole truth? Talent can give an initial advantage, but real success comes to those who continuously work to improve themselves. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are already determined. If they're good at something, they continue it. If they struggle with something, they give up quickly. They avoid challenges because they fear failure will prove they're not talented. Growth mindset people believe abilities come not just from birth, but can be developed through hard work and the right perspective. They see failure as a lesson and work on their weaknesses. They believe that with practice and the right strategy, they can master anything. A famous example is Michael Jordan. People say he was a naturally great player, but reality says otherwise. When he was in school, he was cut from his basketball team because he wasn't good enough at the time. If he'd had a fixed mindset, he might never have taken basketball seriously. But he adopted a growth mindset, worked on his weaknesses, practiced for hours, and became one of the greatest basketball players in the world. His success wasn't just the result of talent, it was the outcome of hard work, the right mindset, and a continuous process of improvement. Fixed mindset people often choose easy paths to protect themselves from failure. They prefer doing things they're already good at, so they don't need to prove themselves. But in the long run, this thinking stops them from advancing. Growth mindset people aren't afraid to learn new things. They're not scared of failing. They see every failure as an opportunity. Another interesting study had scientists observe two groups of children. The first group was told their success was because of their intelligence. The second group was told their success was because they worked very hard. When both groups were later given a difficult test, the first group quickly gave up. They wanted to protect their image of being smart. But the second group persisted and kept trying because they believed hard work would lead to improvement. Success is not just the result of innate talent. It depends on how we develop our talent. If we believe we can learn any skill, we truly can. But if we believe our abilities are limited, we limit ourselves. Chapter 4. Sports, Business, Leadership, and Relationships. The mindset in every area. What's the difference between a champion and an ordinary player? Is anyone born a winner? Does mindset also play a role in relationships? All these questions connect to the most important parts of our lives: sports, business, and relationships. In all these areas, how we think determines our success or failure. Sports. Michael Jordan is the perfect example here again. He adopted a growth mindset, didn't treat failure as a blow to his self-esteem, took it as a challenge, and worked every day to improve. True champions are those who don't fear failure, but learn from it. They turn every defeat into their strength, knowing there's no limit to improvement. Business and leadership. To be a great leader, intelligence and experience alone aren't enough. Mindset plays the biggest role. Some leaders think they already know everything and don't need to learn from anyone, a sign of a fixed mindset. Such leaders reject criticism, fear change, and try to hide their mistakes. Growth mindset leaders are always ready to learn. They believe no one is perfect and everyone can improve. They value their team's suggestions, learn from mistakes, and always look for new opportunities. Steve Jobs is a great example. When he was first fired from Apple, he could have given up, but he saw his failure as an opportunity, rebuilt himself, learned new things, improved his leadership, and returned as a winner. His growth mindset made him one of the world's most influential leaders. Relationships. Have you noticed why some relationships stay strong while others break under the slightest difficulty? Mindset plays a role here too. Fixed mindset people in relationships think that if problems are arising, maybe the relationship isn't right for them. They believe true love should work effortlessly without any effort. But growth mindset people understand that every relationship requires time and effort. If difficulties arise, it doesn't mean the relationship should end. It's an opportunity to understand each other better and build a stronger bond. Strong, lasting relationships are those where both people try to help each other grow. They don't ignore small mistakes. They talk about them and find solutions together. They don't take criticism as a personal attack, but as an opportunity for improvement. In every area of life, sports, business, or relationships, our mindset is the biggest factor determining success or failure. Chapter 5. Parents, Teachers, and Coaches. Where do mindsets come from? Our mindset doesn't come from nowhere. It's formed by the messages and behaviors we receive from childhood. As children, we're like blank slates. What our parents tell us, what our teachers teach us, what our coaches inspire us with, all of this together lays the foundation of our thinking. Parents, if a child is repeatedly told, "You're very smart," they start seeing their smartness as their identity. But when that same child faces difficulty and struggles with something new, they feel they're not as smart as people said. As a result, they start avoiding challenges for fear of being seen as weak. On the other hand, when parents teach, "If you work hard, you can learn anything," they develop a growth mindset. Such a child isn't afraid of failure. They see it as an opportunity. They know that with practice, they can master any skill. Many times parents unknowingly limit their children's mindset. "You're a born genius" sounds nice but creates a fixed mindset. Children who are praised for their effort and hard work become more resilient and confident. Teachers. A good teacher not only gives knowledge but also shapes their students' mindset. Some teachers believe certain children are naturally gifted and others will always fall behind, a sign of a fixed mindset. When a teacher assumes some children can never be good at math or will always remain average, they unknowingly weaken those children's confidence. In contrast, a growth mindset teacher gives every child the opportunity to learn. They know every student is different, but with the right guidance, all can develop their abilities. Dweck's research found that when teachers assure students, "If you keep trying, you will definitely learn," those students start performing better even in difficult subjects. Coaches. On the sports field, mindset is just as important as in a classroom. A good coach doesn't just develop physical abilities, they also build mental strength. When a coach only focuses on winning and views failure negatively, players start giving up quickly. But when a coach teaches that failure is part of the learning process, players become stronger. Dweck studied many successful athletes and their coaches and found that great coaches always teach their players a mindset of improvement. They don't just tell them they're talented, they teach that, without hard work and the right strategy, no success is possible. The most successful players are those who are always ready to improve, not those who rely only on their talent. Our mindset isn't formed just by our own thoughts. It's shaped by the people who play important roles in our lives. If parents, teachers, and coaches guide in the right direction, any child can adopt a growth mindset and reach great heights in life. Chapter 6. Changing the Mindset. The Power of Change. Have you ever felt that when a challenge came before you, you told yourself, "I can't do this"? Or after a failure, you doubted yourself? If yes, the reason could be your mindset. But the good news is, mindset is not a permanent thing. It can be changed. It can be developed. No matter how many years we've lived with a fixed mindset, we can change. And that change can transform our entire life. Change isn't easy. Our mindset is formed from patterns built by our thoughts, experiences, and society. When we're taught from childhood that talent and intelligence are innate, we start accepting those limitations. But Dweck tells us these fears, these limitations aren't real. They're traps created by our own thinking. And the most interesting thing is, as soon as we recognize this truth, the process of change begins. Neuroscience has proven that when we work hard at something new, new neural connections form in our brain. This means if today we consider ourselves weak in something, with practice and the right mindset, we can make it our strength. But the first thing we must do is convince ourselves that change is possible. When we move from a fixed mindset toward a growth mindset, the first change comes in how we think. Where we once feared challenges, we start seeing them as opportunities. Where the fear of failure held us back, we start embracing it as a chance to learn. But this change only comes when we start recognizing the negative thoughts within us. Everyone has a fixed mindset voice, the inner voice that says, "You're not good enough." If you fail, people will judge you. If you're not already skilled at something, maybe you never can be. But alongside it, we have a growth mindset voice, one that motivates us and assures us, "Every failure gives me a chance to learn. My abilities aren't fixed. They can be developed." Whenever the fixed mindset voice rises within us, we should challenge it. When our mind says, "You can't do this," we should ask ourselves, "If I practice, learn, and work hard, can I do this?" When our mind says, "You're not smart enough," we should answer, "Smartness isn't permanent. I can develop it." Patience and consistency are the most important things on this journey of change. No mindset changes overnight. There will be times when we slip back into old thinking, get scared of challenges, get discouraged by failures. But those are exactly the moments when we must remind ourselves, the process of change is ongoing. Our surroundings greatly influence our mindset. If we're around people who limit themselves, fear failure, and run from new opportunities, it becomes difficult for us to break out of a fixed mindset too. But if we're with people who accept challenges, believe in hard work, and prioritize continuous learning, our mindset begins to change as well. That's why we should create an environment around us where a growth mindset is encouraged. Mindset is not a permanent thing. It can be changed at any age, in any circumstance. We must believe in ourselves, challenge our thinking, learn new things, and most importantly, never limit ourselves. We are far more capable than we think. We just need to recognize the power to change our mindset, and then every challenge in our life will become a new opportunity. Conclusion. Friends from Mindset. The new psychology of success, we learned that our thinking is the true key to our success. If we change our mindset, every challenge in life can transform into a new opportunity. A fixed mindset keeps us limited, but a growth mindset gives us the power to move forward. We must believe in ourselves, learn from failures, and move every day toward a better version of ourselves. If you like this video and learned something new, please hit like. In the comments, tell us which part of the video inspired you the most. If you want to watch more book summaries like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Listening Library channel and press the bell icon so you get notifications for every new video first. See you in the next video, where we'll bring you another wonderful book summary. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep strengthening your mindset.